Hey, what's up, Nighthawk? All right, guys, let's get to it. So yesterday, Apple had earnings actually gapped lower in the afternoon session yesterday. Let's see what happens this morning. So still lower, 208. What's up, Michael? How you doing? So Apple gapping lower on actually what is some pretty good earnings. That doesn't really bode super well for the market. Not all is lost though. The futures are actually down 0.5%, which isn't too bad. Volume yesterday was uh, okay, pretty low for recent history, which is good. Means the selling subsided a little bit. And most of the day through yesterday, we had pretty good rallies. Um, we ended the day though. If you go to we did end the day lower though after hours. See the futures dropping. This is the futures. Nasdaq futures dropping after hours, pretty much in concert with Apple dropping right there. You can pretty much see it. And the futures so far throughout the day or overnight session pretty much rallied and come all the way back down to pretty much break even. You can see that on the daily chart, but it's just interesting to see the intraday action sometimes. So we have a test of the 200-day, which actually failed. This is all overnight session. All of this action is overnight session. If you look at the Qs, it'll show that. So still a failure at the 200-day moving average. It tried to close above it, but it did not. And volume was relatively low. So definitely no chance of a follow through yesterday just because it was day 3. But today is day 4, and today is the first chance we have of a follow through day. And so we'll be looking at today for reactions from Apple. Now this could be what's called a gap and go situation or a gap and crap situation. I think um, those are the two gap situations. Up, down, and sideways are kind of the three market directions. And same with gap and goes. It can if it gaps lower. So here we're going to gap down to 208. Was it something like that? So we're going to gap down to here on Apple. There's a gap and go is where it rallies, and a gap and crap is where it falls. So both are kind of reversal off of the gaps. And I guess it depends on the type of a gap, right? If it's a downside gap. So typically a gap and crap scenario would be where it gaps lower and continues. I'm sorry, gaps higher and continues lower. That's a gap and crap. Gap and goes where it goes lower, continues higher. Both can also be used if just directional move after the fact. So Apple's really the story of the day. You need to see what happens there. The NQ, like I said, showing the mixed story coming all the way back to current levels. Let's go see what IBD and some moving stocks of the day have to say. All right, pre-market movers. What do we got going on here? We got SES up 111%. Whatever you do, you little guy. PACB, Pacific Biosciences, with quite a bit of volume after hours, sitting at 760, which is pretty high. 760 right there. Healthcare stocks advance in Friday pre-market. Okay, Illumina buys rival Pacific Biosciences. Okay, that makes sense. So that's off the table. CIFS is a China National Internet. Wow, from 66 to $1. That's quite a run, just in the wrong direction. Not quite sure you want to touch that with a 30-foot pole. REI, which is Ring Energy. It's not REI store apparently. ARCB, EXEL, CATM. So not a whole lot of large cap names here moving pre-market, at least to the upside. ANET, not looking too bad in that low area, but again, it's going to take a while for us to get healthy again. So EXTR, GLBS. This is Global Maritime. I'm assuming it's a shipping company. China Ceramics is next, CCCL. What's up, Eli? Yeah, we do need a base. VeriSign, VRSN, bouncing off that 200-day moving average. Right there. On earnings, which looks like they were pretty good, stopped the downslide, dead in its tracks. Same with a lot of names. Hopefully that'll continue and we can do some basing and kind of rally. Did I cover fun? No, I didn't cover Funko. I'm just going over pre-market movers currently. WA seems oversold like a falling knife. It is a falling knife, and I don't catch them. I'm not a circus worker. I don't have Eli's special falling knife gloves. It's pretty much what you need to do that, is those cool falling knife gloves. This is interesting. This is showing us up, yet we closed here. Or showing us lower, excuse me, down 0.5%. Yet we closed the previous day right there, which is interesting. What else we got? VeriSign, I think we did that already. Yeah, VeriSign bouncing off the 200-day, and which could be good. And then PXS is the last on the movers list. What's not moving today? OLED down 26%. Are you kidding me? Wow. Down to 94. Down from up there. Looking good yesterday, guys. Not looking good today. It's apparently at $94 a share. Oh my goodness. Plummets 27 for Q3 results late Thursday. That is crazy. That's literally crazy. OLED was a leader for a long time. OLED displays the next generation of LED technology, and that's a big drop. It's a little scary. 24 to 209 right there over about 3 years. It just had a huge run, now gapping down 25%. Not super healthy. Good job, Eli. Gloves for your feet. Yeah. Sometimes you try to catch the falling knife and it cuts your hand, then stabs you in the foot. GoPro's down, so we're seeing tech names on the down list. We don't look at that usually. Although it looks like GoPro's taking it on the chin anyway. GoPro's at 616. It looks like it's within kind of normal tolerances on the weekly chart at least. What do we got? A couple minutes left. Yeah, today's going to be an interesting day. That's all I got to say. I don't want to try to guess the market direction today. You just kind of have to. This one's going to be weird, guys. I'm just with Apple earnings, and you're seeing big deductions in the market being taken across the board. The gapping up stocks not very healthy. Gapping down stocks are what should be some of the healthier stocks. Wage growth hits 9-year high. 250,000 jobs added. Dow futures pair gains is what we have there. So economy is still pretty hot in terms of job market. So 250,000 jobs in October. Unemployment held at 3.7. Wages accelerated though, fastest since early 2009. So only accelerated a little bit though. Amazon wage hike kicked in November 1st. So that should affect the wage growth next month. Texas Roadhouse reports wage inflation of 5.3%. Likely to continue through 2019, explains Texas Roadhouse CEO from what they're seeing here. Costco hiked its starting pay by $1 an hour in June. Cheesecake Factory has expected wage growth to jump to 6 to 7% versus the prior expectation of 5%. Disney theme park workers in Florida recently approved a contract that will hike their starting wage by 50% over 3 years. Wow, to $15. So it's definitely wage inflation, which may not bode well for the markets here. We'll have to see. So it's a dual thing. It's going to hit earnings, but at the same time, people are going to have more money to spend. Therefore, it could be better for the economy. We'll have to see. This is going to be a talking point, I think, between the different sides or politically, which I don't know. And I don't have a lot of historical data offhand about wage inflation and market performance. But looks like market's going to open here in about 45 seconds or 20 seconds by the time you guys hear this. So yeah, we'll have to see how this affects the stock market. So they're definitely paying more for wages. Wages is already people's basically largest expense in a business is your wages. And if that cost is rising in businesses, that definitely could be a reason for the market sell-off we're seeing if the institutions are seeing that start to creep in. So definitely a few economic headwinds. However, still definitely a very good economy. So I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 in this scenario. Okay, we open a little bit there. What do we got? We got ANET up 10%, which is nice. Oh, how to hit Maztec. This happens a lot. I mean to hit one thing and I hit another. So ANET selling off right there. We got ABBV, cores. I'm looking at the weekly. Let me get this off the 15-minute. There we go. So ANET already down a little bit. Cut its gain in half. What the hell? I'm just doing weird stuff here today, guys. Starbucks rallying actually quite significantly. 7%. On slightly beating earnings. I did not do that. Did not do that. What the hell? This is killing me. All right, Huya right there, gapping up a little bit. We got cores gapping up fairly significantly, not on earnings. Is there some kind of news announcement? Oh, now I have no idea what's going on here, guys. My thing's just changing on me. I may have to restart this program if it continues like here. So we saw good moves yesterday. Today we need to see if these moves continue. Lope. Are you going to change on me too, Lope? Oh, hi, Mark. No, I'm clicking on these symbols and then they keep changing on me. Click and then ODFL. Speaking of ODFL, look how far down that's come. On the weekly chart, you don't see a move like that very often in ODFL. Down 39% there. Down 30% right there. So we're definitely reaching historical territory in some of these stocks where we've seen some lows. AbbVie. Okay, so let's try this again. MTZ. ANET gapping up to the 200-day right there. Starbucks gapping over a trend line that we've drawn. I'm not sure if this is off to the races, but it could be on some good earnings there. It could be. I'm saying could. Technically, your buy point would be here at about the $65, 68, 64.97. Yeah, we were looking at Funko yesterday. Well, Eli was looking at Funko. This has been an interesting chart here for a while. It's failed to go lower with the rest of the market. A recent gainer you can see here. We went from $5 to $30 in the past 9 months. So definitely can move, pulling back in what is a first stage base, maybe towards the low of that first stage base. And if the market gets healthy, Funko could possibly pull out of this. Earnings coming up here. You can see it's starting to round up ever so slightly. Need to make a little local lower low to really kind of confirm that. But Funko looking pretty good. You got Melly right there moving up towards the trend line. Huya, which we drew this trend line on a while back, or whenever we drew it, I don't remember. Could have been a couple days ago. GDS, 3D Systems, Emmys. There's 3D Systems. It had a really bad break the other day. Yesterday paused, which is nice. That's good for hopefully some bottoming action. Time will tell right there. Cores, ABMD. Here, new. SkyWest, which is an airlines have been holding up pretty nicely lately. So SkyWest had that huge gap the other day off earnings. Remember that? Closed lower in the day, which isn't the end of the world. Reversing today. Yesterday showing quite a bit of accumulation under that 56 level. So that's not bad for SKYW. BECN. SOI. What are you doing today, SOI? So SOI had a good reaction to earnings. Looks like following through today a little bit, up 2.5%. Still well below any kind of buy point in a double bottom pattern. So this is our buy area right there on the alert, as a matter of fact. Restoration Hardware, Trimble. EC up 2%, bouncing off the 200-day. Nothing crazy going on there yet. Align. Polaris Industries. I think they make snowmobiles, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of movement right here where I'm pointing. So Illumina bouncing off the 200-day. I think I mentioned the other day you never see Illumina on the 200-day. And that's why, because it bounces immediately afterwards. Illumina gets to the 200-day and then leaves the 200-day. So double bottom scenario here. Your buy point technically would be right there on Illumina. Although on the weekly chart, it's probably not going to look much like a double bottom. I guess it does a little bit. There's a little bit of right there. But that would be your buy point in Illumina, which would be above this 10-week moving average. Is it still the 10-week? And the index is pairing losses here at 0.3%. Look at the volume on the futures. Already looking like it's going to have a decent day. Yesterday with the low-ish volume day. Now let's go to Investors Business Daily to see what they actually see the volume as, because that's really what they're going to base it off of. They don't go off of the futures market. So there's a possibility today is more kind of a quiet follow-through day. Here we go. So here's NASDAQ's chart. You can see the volume here actually doesn't look. It looks different than it does on my futures chart by a long shot, as a matter of fact. And if you look at this chart, I'm not sure. I think this may come right from NASDAQ. NASDAQ.com. Let's see if they... What did I type in here? Okay. Well, McAfee actually saved me from something. Didn't save me from all these ads on the NASDAQ site. What the flood? See if the volume is the same. Where's my chart? Thought we were looking at charts here, guys. Thought we were looking at charts. This is just quotes. Well, this isn't what I want. Price charts. Why wouldn't I want price charts? You weirdo. That's just weird. OHLC. 5 years. Gosh, these ads are horrible. What is this? IN. Alright, well, this isn't helping me very much. I just want the damn NASDAQ chart. Can I just get a chart of the NASDAQ? Hello, Tadik. Anyway, you're gonna be like that. So yeah, IBD's chart, excuse me, looks a little bit different. I'm assuming this is coming, yeah, provided from NASDAQ last sale. I don't know if this is general charting indicators. Okay, this takes us to this is the paper version of the chart. November 1st, so this is updated every day, which is cool. You can see the sectors in here too. Okay. I want to go back and bookmark this page, as a matter of fact. So this is a PDF that looks like it was made last night. Looks the same on NQ1. So here's my NQ, and it doesn't look anything similar. And I get some NQ1. I got no NQ1 here. That's not a valid symbol. Sorry guys, just to make sure we're looking at valid charts here. Maybe I've been making a mistake using these futures here, but we did the analysis based on the futures in terms of the high volume down days. Anyway, based on the futures here, you can see we're already 20 minutes into the trading session. Volume is almost half of yesterday. Yesterday was 583. We're at 237. So that'd be about 290,000 shares would be average, and we're already at 237. Looks like going to be 240 at a relatively quick pace, and we're already flat on the day. What's Apple doing? Apple's down 4%. Okay, so it's a gap and go day, guys. Looks like it may be a gap and go day. Gap down, didn't undercut this low, and so far moving up. This doesn't mean we're out of the woods. Like I said, only 20 minutes into the trading day, so we'll have to. Oh yeah, and Bitcoin Cash popped up too for no apparent reason, which is good. I mean, it crossed that trend line. Didn't do that earlier. Let's get to you mentioned NQ1, right? Is this the NQ1 you're looking at there, Eli? Because it doesn't quite look the same. It looks the same as my futures chart. It doesn't look the same as what IBD has on their chart. You see right there, they've got a very tight range here in terms of volume. This is very peaked, and it peaks here at this day, right there, and then volume starts to taper off as it's up here. So, anyway, we'll have to wait and see how the volume plays out today. I'm a little interested to see how that plays out. So I'm going to see if they update this page every day, because I know they canceled the paper, the actual physical paper copy of the paper, which printed 4 days a week, or maybe it was a full 5. Maybe it was a full 5, but so tobacco performed really well. That's not super good. Look at that, 6 weeks ago, it was tobacco is ranked 108th. Now it's ranked second. So they're leading into these tobacco stocks, which pay dividends. That kind of leads bearishly, if you ask me. Although this did have a bad day yesterday compared to most. Truck parts, heavy duty up 6.7%. Electronic semiconductors did well. Red are the worst performing sectors. Blue are the best performing sectors on this. And these are the, so day's best blue, worst red. Top 40 groups, worst 40 groups on this side. So showing you really what's kind of. And IBD Mutual Fund Index. Wow, really outperformed the past few days. That's interesting right there. So I'll keep a little bit more of an eye on that page going forward here. But Apple paring losses here a little bit, bouncing up. Volume already elevated here as well. Already 16 million shares traded. Average is 34, so very hefty buying down here, which looks like it's boosting the market. So it's a gap and go. That's our best case scenario, is a gap and go on Apple earnings here. And so far we're getting that. We'll have to see how this day ends up here. SOI, which is a recent one we like recently, had good earnings. Apparently, year over year, 12 to 49 cents is very good. And let's go to SOI on Investors Business Daily. 65 composite rating. Relative strength is still pretty bad at 21 or 24, excuse me. This doesn't look good on the composite rating, but what do we like about SOI? It was holding up well, if I remember correctly. Like everything was dropping. Okay, 292% EPS change last quarter, 1,200. Last 3 quarters average EPS growth rate is phenomenal. 3 years EPS growth is 652. EPS change current year 307. These are just huge numbers. Triple digits are really pre-tax margin of 80%. That's a number that's really hard to fake, unless you have like some kind of one-time weird thing that can bump that up, but that's pretty good. ROE 19's pretty good too. 7% in change in funds owning stock. So these are okay. These are really good. I'm not sure. I mean, when you look at numbers like the 3-year average EPS growth rate, 600%, that's interesting. It's kind of funny why it's only ranked 65th. Quarters of EPS acceleration, 0. And estimate revisions were lower compared to monumental growth. It's not too bad for me. Looks like Eli bought NIO yesterday. An IPO looks like a bit of a flat base scenario. And yeah, Funko is interesting. Qs are doing good here, up 0.2%. So far, rallied pretty good, though. The volume on the Qs isn't nearly as nice as it is. But we're already at 9 million shares. 53 would be average. We would have to get above 50. Yeah, we'd have to be average in order to call it a follow-through day. But we'll see. Like I said, not every follow-through day works out, but every bull market cycle has had a follow-through day. So we're waiting for that follow-through day. Today is the first day that we're kind of waiting for that. See a couple of MJ stocks kind of up here towards the middle of my top list here. Cron up 2%, 2.56%. Still kind of not really super happy. You can see here it's barely rallied. I mean barely rallied. TLRY up 1%. Looks like it's sitting in a little mini bull flag. A little mini bull flag right there, maybe if we're lucky. MJ, the ETF, crawling a little bit higher than both of those actually. Little bit. Not a ton. Square, which is one that I mentioned, really shouldn't be sold off a tremendous amount. Having a pretty good day. Looks like continuing. Earnings are coming up here relatively quickly. Save. Save Spirit Airlines. Look at that. Breaking out, as a matter of fact. We noted them the other day, but we haven't kept an eye on them. And it looks like, today having a good day so far. See what other airlines. Let's see what UAL's doing. Pretty good. DAL is Delta Airlines. They're doing okay. Rallying as well. Love is Southwest Airlines. After a big earnings miss, looks like they're actually coming back. They got a gap to fill here at 54.21. We'll see what happens there. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. So looks like airlines are doing pretty good. Let's go back to that list. What did airlines do yesterday? It looks like they didn't do a whole heck of a lot. We got trying to see what they are in terms. Well, I guess I could just. It's an easier way to do this. Let's do. I'm trying to look to see where they are in terms of their sector leadership. So they're ranked 132, which doesn't print on IBD's list here. So they're not doing great. Looks like they're performing a little better today as a sector, so that's good. There's Illumina, which is always a market leader, bouncing off that 200-day. Match.com we looked at yesterday, which was looking pretty good. Also talked about them in terms of their base. Looks like they're in a first or second stage base. I'm just going to call it I guess I got to call it a first stage base. I'm trying to remember if this would be the first stage or if the first stage is afterwards. IBD 50. Match. This is number 2 on the IBD 50 as well. So that's important. Number 1 on the IBD 50 is 5, which we also noted the other day that we liked a lot. Well above the 200-day moving average. Many stocks were not well above the 200-day moving average. Very good looking stock. So match with a 98 composite rating, 156% EPS change last quarter. 3-year growth rate's a little slow. 24 pre-tax margin is good. 98 ranking in terms of relative strength. 5 below, which is what we're looking at right here. 99 composite rating. Number 1 in this industry is targeted discount retail stores. 40% EPS change growth. 68 last 3. 33% 3-year EPS growth rate. 24% 3-year sales growth, which they have as red, which is weird. 98 relative strength. So 5. Probably looking like one of the better ones. We're throwing a pocket pivot our way here. You guys remember me talk about pocket pivots? Well, there's one right there yesterday. Pocket pivot. NASDAQ seeing a little bit of stalling here. Looks like. So NASDAQ's stalling here a little bit. Looks like we're starting a bit of a reversal, which is kind of to be expected. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, Apple looks like it's reversed about half of its gains for the day. Hopefully we can maintain, but I'd like for Apple just to shoot up. Let's see what Amazon's doing. Some of these large cap names. Amazon's up 1.39%, which is nice. That's good. Netflix, Nvidia, which is a large cap name. Wow, very V bottom here. We need to have a nice sideways base if we're gonna continue being healthy. They have earnings coming up too in 2 weeks, so that's interesting for Nvidia. A couple people talked about AMD the other day. Oh wow, cut in half. 53%. See ya, AMD already coming. Look at this longer term base right there, stopping right there at that longer term base. We noted this in a few stocks. Wow, already up 30% from that level. So that's a tremendous run in AMD. So the technical action here is it gapped lower on earnings, rallied, failed to go a lot lower. It did go lower by about 8%, 8-9%. Now it's crossed the supported on the 200-day, meeting a little bit of resistance here at the 50-day, although it's above it right now. We have a gap right here we need to fill at the 22.5 level on AMD. That could be an interesting play right there, to be honest with you. I'm not super mad at AMD. Now, I don't know what their earnings were like fundamentally. Looks like they dropped it by 2 cents, which is fairly significant. We didn't really talk about AMD on earnings day. Not sure if they're feeling any market pressure. They've got a composite ranking of 80, 97 relative strength ratings. Still, even after that drop, is still 97. So, not doing too bad. That's not the screen I want. This is the screen I want. So 44% change last quarter. I'm not sure why this is NA. It doesn't make any sense. Current quarter, they just got profitable again, it looks like. EPS estimate change for the current year 360. And the story with AMD is they're leading Intel a little bit right now because Intel's having to change their chip manufacturing process some. So we'll see if that maintains. But look, wow, nothing margin right there. 2.3% margin. Only 19 billion, really. As AMD plummets, yeah, right. So don't know if you want to catch that falling knife even on a dead cat bounce right there. We'll have to see how that plays out. But it's an interesting prospect if the market gets healthy again. Just tons of volume all the way through. You see the distribution even on the way up. It was kind of a market darling for the last part of the rally here that we had, but you can see the distribution right there, right there, right there. 3 major distribution days. So yeah, I don't think I'm touching this thing. All right, on to the next one. Well, let's see what's not working today. Control 4 down 20%. Oh, wow. On earnings. Another reason why you don't play earnings, down 20%. Only missed by 3 cents, so less than 10% miss on EPS. I'm not sure if they guided bad or what. So sales came in lower than estimated. And Q4 EPS, they're estimating in the middle of the range. They don't like that. They don't like that out of Control 4. Oh, thanks, Cool Frost says AMD also failed to bring new GPUs. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, that's not good. So they're having some internal pressures too. External pressures seem to be favorable, but they're not, looks like they're not coming through on their end of the bargain. So you're going to get sold off when that happens. All right, Apple reversed fully all those gains right now. So the gap and go, not so much. And look at that volume we noted was heavy. Remains heavy now at 23 million shares traded. Gonna be a very heavy volume day today for Apple. And if this ends up lower, that's not going to bode super well for the market. Amazon's going to have to go on a run to kind of sustain what damage Apple's going to be doing to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 here. So this will give us some headwinds going forward if this sell-off of Apple continues, definitely. So you can consider this maybe a break of the 50-day on volume right there. Which one would it be? This one? Okay, so this could be, there's your first break of the 50-day on elevated volume, which is not good. Then you have a test of the 50-day. And your third touch of the 50-day is usually a really good shorting opportunity. And I'm only saying that because if Apple continues in a downtrend, market's probably not going to be in a good state for a while. You may not get that follow-through day if this continues much further. Sometimes you'll get like a double reversal. They'll play games with you in the mornings, then they'll reverse on you later. So like I said, the best case scenario. Okay, so at least it's selling off here on lower volume, so we could get that double reversal. And I can't draw the same I can on TradingView. So you get these double reversals from time to time, where basically the market, so you have a big gap down, and then it rallies in the first 30 minutes, and then it takes you lower, and then rallies higher. I mean, no matter which way you want to draw this, but so maybe this is a real trend, and this is the fake out. That's our best case scenario right now. I mean, truly, that's our best case scenario at this stage of the game. Otherwise, we're due for a lot of pain, I think. I just realized peanut butter is basically hummus. That's funny. That's funny. A couple of high volume candles right there. Not sure. There's a lot of huge players in Apple, so not quite sure what to make of that, to be honest with you. But could mean a reversal due to the fact they're towards the lows, but they're pretty big selling candles. Like I said, ideally, if we don't undercut these lows of the day, that would be great. If we can reverse back higher and then hopefully continue up, that would be the best. I am on the 1 minute. 1 second. I don't know if I can do 1 second. You know what I can do, though? I can do a tick chart. That's what I can do. We'll do 2 days. Where's my tick chart? I can do a tick chart. Where is it? Oh, is it there? Come on. Where's my tick chart? Tick. There we go. So we can do every tick. Let's go. A little bit of fun, guys. A little bit of fun. There's your tick chart. Get Mel in here. We need to analyze this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to buy for retirement on this tick chart. This is a real tick chart. Yeah, let's go. Okay, we crossed a trend line right there. Boom. Let's go ahead and let's make this happen. We got trend line right there. Crossed it. Buy it. We got trend line right here. Let's see if I won't even draw correctly. All right, sell it. Oh, we got shaken out. All right, you guys ready? Okay, got double. Ooh, got a fake out right there. Let's keep going. Oh, we got trend line right there. Drop it. Go. And then we're going to rounding bottom here. Okay. We're looking a failed cup with handle breakout right there. And then we got there's a cup with handle right there. Boom, buy it. Breakout. It's done. Okay, put in your long-term positions. Oh wait, never mind. You got stopped out. We just got stopped out, guys, of our long-term position. Oh, brutal. That was stressful just trying to do that. Gotta have some fun. Thanks, Eli. Thanks for talking about tick chart. Oh, we got a big downtrend right there. Wait till that gets broken. And then what happened? Oh, it's not broken yet. We're still going lower. So there's the tick chart. Ask and you shall receive it at Real Stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Ask and you shall receive. to a power hour like this. Hold on. I'm gonna see if Mel's in here. Here, I gotta get Mel linked to the video. Hold on a second. I'm gonna call out Mel. All right, I'm gonna leave that going for a minute because that's kind of fun. What's not fun though is what the effect that this price action is having though, right there. I have some fun with Mel if he pops up. Looks like he's around. So moving lower, which is not boding well. Apple down here towards the lows of our charts here. Some stocks want to rally, but Apple's just not into it, so we're not going to get that broad market rally that we're hoping. Well, at least not right now. Hold on a second. Ethan? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, guys. Looks like the markets are starting to sell off right here. You can see the Nasdaq down almost 1% right there. Mel's not answering, so I'm gonna have to go though, guys. But yeah, I mean, best case scenario here. I'm not sure what else is rolling over. Apple. I'm gonna get off the tick chart here, but Apple selling off is not a healthy thing at all by any stretch of the imagination. Could take us lower. I'm actually considering liquidating maybe at least half of my TQQQ position up in these levels. I'm not doing it. I'm thinking about it. So I'll have to wait and see how I feel about that. But hopefully Apple can maintain the lows here. That would be good. But not quite sure how that's going to play out there. But I got to run, guys. Tomorrow is Saturday, so I'll see you guys Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday. So we'll be doing sessions because the market or the time zone shifts for well, I guess for everyone the time zone changes. So here in Arizona, the time zone does not change. So we'll basically be starting our show. Well, for me, I'll be starting the show right now, maybe a little bit earlier, and then I'm gonna have to I'll have to figure that part out. So I'll see you guys Monday. We'll figure this out going forward in terms of the time zone shift. Maybe we can talk about that on Monday as things kind of progress. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.